Well, I'm joined now from Ramallah by Huwaida Araf from the Free Gaza movement. She was on one of the 6 ships, the Challenger, which was raided by the Israelis. Huwaida, first, you could see what was going on the big Turkish ship. And therefore, from the reports also on our programme tonight, people were armed and ready with sticks to get the commandos as soon as they arrived in the boat. Is that the case?
I don't know. I can't say that the people were armed and ready. We had discussed a lot about using just our bodies to repel any invasion by the Israelis. At the same time, we had repeatedly called on the Israelis not to attack our ships, not to use violence. They did radio us. We identified ourselves. We told them that we are unarmed civilians. We have parliamentarians with us. We have reporters with us, doctors, journalists, lawyers, and we are carrying humanitarian aid headed for the Gaza Strip. There's no reason to use force against us. They chose, unfortunately, to use violence. I was on the Challenger 1, which is an American-flagged ship. It was the smallest ship of the ships, the vessels that were on the flotilla. But we were traveling almost side by side with the Mavi Marmara, the Turkish ship, and so I could see the beginnings of the attack on that ship. I could see Israeli naval forces when they approached by sea, and the concussion grenades that they threw in, and also some firing. I don't know what it was in terms of what kind of bullets they were firing, but Israeli commandos were definitely firing. And then the captain took our ship full steam ahead because we were trying to, before we were overtaken, to get some news out to the international community. Unfortunately, all of our satellite systems were jammed, and after about 15 minutes of trying to outrun the Israeli naval forces, they surrounded our ship. They threw concussion grenades on our boat, used tasers, and then boarded, masked, and with their weapons, with their rifles actually cocked and ready, and they also had dogs with them. We tried to get them off just with our bodies and to prevent them from overtaking the ship. They beat many of us. Volunteer ended up with a bloody face. My head smashed against the deck of the boat. I
just want to ask you one other question about this. Now, what our reporter Tim Huell was saying was that he, certainly in terms of the biggest ship, this was not primarily from the bigger ship's point of view about aid. It was about 600 or more so activists protesting about the blockade. Is that the case?
We were carrying 10,000 tons of different forms of aid needed in the Gaza Strip, from reconstruction supplies to school supplies and medical equipment. And while we fully intended, our goal was to reach Gaza with this aid, our goal is not to perpetuate this cycle of humanitarian aid, because that's exactly what Israel's blockade is doing. It is squeezing the people of Gaza, letting a certain small amount of aid in that doesn't meet the needs of the people and is strictly limited to a few kinds of items. So thousands of items are denied entry under the pretext of security, but actually they have nothing to do with security. Right. Like, why won't Israel allow in baby formula or paper, books, oxygen, anesthetics? These are the kinds of things that we were carrying on our ships. We wanted to deliver them because they are much needed in Gaza, but also we need to challenge the policy that leaves Gaza in need of humanitarian aid.
Thank you for joining me tonight.